Dr. Swindoll, or can I call you Pastor Chuck?
How about Chuck?
Chuck. Thank you. Thank you on behalf of the Denver community, but I also owe you a personal thanks. Every evening during the 1980s, I would quit working about 5:30 in the evening, and I would get in my car, and I had a half-hour drive home. And I would turn KWBI radio station on and listen to Insight for Living. So thank you very much. I have probably 30 or 40 cassette tapes, and I have no cassette player now. So that's what happens with technology, I guess. I did an Amazon search this week, and I found out that you have authored 123 books. So I hope you don't mind. And Mark, I want your signature when yours is finished. And the other 122 are in my car, if you don't mind Well, what a great celebration we've had and continue to have. And the moment has arrived when our honored guest receives his opportunity. Back in the summer of 2008, Denver Seminary found itself without a president. The chairman of our board appointed a search committee. That search committee consisted of 3 trustees, 3 faculty members, 2 staff members, and a student. And that group of 9 people were entrusted with the responsibility of finding one candidate to present to the Board of Trustees of Denver Seminary as a potential president. Over the summer, that group organized, and by September of 2008, we hired a gentleman named Glenn Weingarth who assisted us in the search process. Glenn Weingarth was a wonderful aide in the process. We prepared an opportunity profile. That opportunity profile not only defined what we thought the history of Denver Seminary was and its character, but also our expectations and hope for our 7th president. That opportunity profile was posted on our website, and it was sent virtually around the world. By December, we had over 100 people that had been recommended to us by you through our website, by others. Some had applied, and others had no interest at all, but they were on our radar screen. We looked at people from as far away as India, Europe, and Texas. By January of last year, we had narrowed the list down to about 10 people, and Glenn Weingarth, on our behalf, traveled to each of the places of ministry of those people to get a feel for their sense, for the persona of the place they worked, the character of their ministry, to see if it matched the character of Denver Seminary, because we truly wanted someone that's DNA reflected our DNA and our hopes for the future. We were looking for someone who was in the academy, but also understood the world of ministry. We wanted someone who had a respect for faculty and their achievements, but recognized that the church and the people are mobilized outside the seminary to do the work and the call of Christ. So along came Mark Young. He came to us and was interviewed in February of last year, and then in March he brought his secret weapon, Priscilla. In many ways, we hired Priscilla, and we get Mark as the added bonus. So thank you. Mark and Priscilla, as you've heard, ministered in Eastern Europe, not an easy place to minister. So we thought anybody that could work in Eastern Europe during the period in which he worked would be good for the position of a president, because there are a lot of similarities in the magnitude of the task. He then moved to Texas, and in Texas for 16 years, he worked as a professor of world missions at Dallas Seminary, as well as a pastor on the staff of Stonebriar Church. Stonebriar is a rather small church in the north suburbs of Texas that Dr. Swindoll pastors. I think it has about 8,000 members. We owe a debt of gratitude to both Dallas Theological Seminary and to Stonebriar Church, because we have taken from you a very valuable resource. So thank you, Stonebriar, and Mark Bailey, thank you, Dallas Theological Seminary. So it is my great joy today to welcome Dr. Mark Stephen Young, and if his wife Priscilla would join, let's welcome them. Mark, it is my privilege this 30th day of January 2010, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Denver Seminary, to invest you as our 7th president. Therefore, we do hereby infer upon you the office of President and Chief Executive Officer. The office shall be yours thusly with all of its powers, privileges, and authority that are attached by virtue of our bylaws and charter. And as you have already discovered, the office is filled with many duties and responsibilities. It shall be your privilege and your responsibility to humbly lead Denver Seminary, to inspire us with vision, to model godliness but not perfection, to manifest the fruits of the Spirit but to be judged by grace, and to continue our 60-year tradition of training men and women and equipping them to change the world through the gospel of Jesus Christ. Mark and Priscilla, I want you to know that you do not stand here alone. It is our privilege as a board and as the guests here today to share those burdens with you. We do not want you to feel alone. So, with great joy, it is our privilege to introduce you as our 7th president.